was about to say good morning, but it's 2 p.m. where I live, and it is probably later in the day where you live. But good morning or good afternoon, regardless of when you are watching this or what time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. I don't like doing this in the afternoon. I feel very disheveled. It's fine. We're here for day 6 of Stitch May Q&A. I am your host, Abby TopKnot, and this is where we chit-chat and talk stitching while I work on Bushland Quaker Take Wing, and just generally chat and answer questions. So I'll give people a moment to show up. I don't have a plan for today. Sometimes I come in with a specific question that I plan to answer, or set of questions, so we're just gonna wing it because I had an early morning and I thought rather than give you a super discombobulated, distracted Abby at 7 a.m., I would give you a slightly discombobulated, distracted Abby at 2 p.m. My neighbor's outside, and my office nook window overlooks their driveway, and so they can be sometimes kind of noisy, so just bear with me. How are you all doing today? I hope well. Hello. I'm trying to pull up my chart. I did a really haphazard job of not even scanning my chart to make my own PDF, but just taking pictures of the chart. And this motif goes across 2 pages, and I regret not doing this more carefully. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Alexis. Hello to everyone. Okay, so I'm working on this. I keep calling it a seagull. I don't know if it's a seagull, but I'm still working on that little bird. I filled in some more of his wings after we spoke yesterday. But then I ended up not really having as much time to work on him as I expected to. But that's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's try to figure out. I like to start my thread before we start talking, so it's easier to see. But I didn't. Happy Thursday indeed. I can't believe it's already Thursday. This week has felt crazy fast. And that's, I guess, good. I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. So let's see. What kind of Q&A chit-chat should we have? Hold on, let me start this thread and then I'll think of a question, or feel free to drop in a question for me. I thought of a couple things the other day that I meant to write down, and of course I didn't. So of course I forgot them, because that's what I do best. If you are stitching or planning to stitch this Bushland Quaker piece, or the other piece in the series, I just got my shipment from Australia. It came in last night, and so they're partly packed up and ready to go, and the rest will be going out this afternoon. That's what I'm gonna do right after I hop off of this live stream. And so they'll get out in the mail. I think I still have some charts left for both the first and second designs, and then I think I have one set of threads for each, or only for one of them. I'm not sure. So Alexis, if you haven't ordered yours yet, you should go do that. And I'm working on getting more threads because they are beautiful. But I have some charts left. So that is the update of the day. Do you want to hear the funny story of what happened with this package? I'm gonna tell you. I live in an apartment building in a small city area, and like many places, we have issues with mail theft. And so occasionally when I am getting a really high value item delivered, or something that I am really anxious to get my hands on, or just otherwise really don't want to go get lost, I will have it. I used to be able to ship it to my office, but I don't go into the office anymore, but I'll have it shipped to my boyfriend's house instead. And so I thought, okay, this thread that's coming from Australia, like, I've ordered from her before and it came just fine, but this was a bigger order and I was like, ooh, I'm noticing I'm like 2 different tones. My makeup is not the right shade. That's not the point right now. Okay. Welcome to my brain. Anyway, I've ordered from Joanna before and had it shipped and it was just fine. And since I'm now home all day, every day, it's a lot easier to keep up with when I get deliveries. Because I live in like an older building and so we have a call box downstairs, but it can be very glitchy. And so delivery people should be able to like ring to me and it rings to my phone and then I can let them in. Or they can ring to the building manager who lets them into the lobby, and we have some like package lockers in there. So there are ways to leave packages securely, but they don't always bother. So sometimes they'll just leave it outside, or if it's, the USPS will bring it into the lobby. So that's good, but they don't always lock it up safely. So it can still go missing if it's just left loose in the lobby. And then UPS and FedEx and all that, they will sometimes just leave it outside. And our building manager, super helpful in making sure that packages, if they're left outside, he brings them in. He, makes sure they're locked up securely. He'll bring them up to our doors. It's amazing. Bless his heart. I get so many packages here, and I have delivery notifications for every service, so that as soon as I get a notification that something's delivered, I can run down and grab it before it has a chance to go missing. And for the most part, it works super well. Occasionally something goes missing and it's a true bummer. But here's the thing. I had these threads and charts shipped to my boyfriend's house instead. And I got the delivery notification. So I texted him and I said, Australia was delivered. And he said, what? Because he didn't know that the thing I had coming was from Australia, and that's how I identified it. And then he went out to his mailbox to check, and he sent me a text that said, we have a problem. And I was like, oh, no. And since the package ended up coming through, oh, no, I don't have my scissors. What did I do with them? Since the package ended up coming through USPS and not DHL or some other service, they had put it in like a parcel, like they have one of those cluster mailboxes, right? So he opened up the parcel locker to get my package and it was empty. And then he looked at the key, and the key, like typed, it says you have a package in box number 1, but then handwritten in really faint rubbed off Sharpie was box number 2. So he looked at the label and saw box number 1. So he opened box number 1. It was empty. You can't take the key back out because that's like not secure or whatever. And somehow I guess that key opened both of them. I don't understand, because he sent me the picture of it and then I got to see it in person and I was like, yeah, this does not make any sense. Hello everyone. Oh, hi Trisha. And so I immediately started panicking. And he was like, okay, well, I started panicking. He was like, wait a minute, there's box 1 and there's box 2, but this key, I can't get it out, so I can't open that one. And he was just like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't know either. I was starting to panic, but then I was like, wait a minute, it's going to be okay. It's in box 2. And so I was like, don't even worry about it. So this happened on Tuesday, and I was like, I'm coming over on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I pull into the neighborhood on Wednesday and I see the mail truck is like on the other side of the complex. So I was like, okay, either they just came or they're about to come deliver the mail. And so like, this is a perfect window to run and see what's happening. And so I immediately like texted him and had him come outside to check the mail. I really need scissors so I can do stitching while I tell this fascinating story. He came outside and we were like, okay, the mail hasn't come yet. And he was like, cool, like they'll come around and then, we'll be able to get the package. And I was like, you're assuming that she's not just like, or he, I don't, what, that they're not like, oh, they just haven't come to pick up their package yet. Like, they're not going to say, oh, they haven't picked up their package in the, 21 hours since I delivered it. I better go take it to their doorstep. Like, no. And this is, I'm freaking out because it's a $600 or whatever, many $100 order that I sent just so that it wouldn't go missing. And then here it is, like, I can't get to it, and I was panicking. Plus, I want to be able to get all the threads and stuff to you all, because you've been waiting so patiently. And so I was like, I'm going to just sit here and wait for them. And he was like, it's going to take a minute. Like, there's a lot of mailboxes in this neighborhood. So, like, what is wrong with you? And also, it was, like, 90 degrees. And I was just fretting away, and you can't really see the mailbox from like their window or anything. And so I like circled the like neighborhood. It's kind of small, but I circled around and was like scoping it out. And I was like, okay, there's the mail truck, but then like it just wasn't coming closer. And I was like, do I just go up to her and say like, the mailbox over here? I have the wrong key, and like, what? So I basically just stood outside for like almost 30 minutes waiting for her to come over to our side. And then she pulled up, and I could see her looking at me like, what is this crazy lady in a mask, doing, circling around, standing right there. Where are my scissors? How do I have no scissors? Oh, I've got 4 other projects here. Someone has a scissor. But I was so anxious to get the package, and I'm so glad that I stood there, because I don't know what she would have done if she opened the little mail and saw just like, it hasn't been picked up yet. But she pulled up, and I ran up to her and I said, my package was in the wrong thing. And she was like, what? And I explained, and she said, oh, okay, I see. And then I was kind of concerned, not really concerned because he was inside, but I was kind of concerned that my name wasn't like on the, like, she didn't really verify my identity at all. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but luckily I got the package. Everything was fine. I ran back inside victorious. I'm so glad I stood out there because I was very concerned that I would totally miss it. No scissors. My goodness. It shouldn't have to be so difficult. You're right. But I'm glad it was safe. It was kind of nice because I did end up like walking around quite a few times. So I got in a nice walk, and it was, even though it was hot, it was really breezy. I think I said it was 90 degrees. It wasn't quite that hot, but it was pretty breezy, and like, that was enjoyable. I was like also Marco Poloing some friends, and so all in all, it was okay. I would like, after I had waited 10, 15 minutes, I thought to myself, well, I've waited this long, I have to keep waiting. Like, if I stop now and then she comes along eventually, but I don't, like, I was like, if I just go inside and I don't worry about it, and then she, like, the mail gets delivered, but I don't get my package, that's going to be so annoying. And I know my boyfriend's not going to just sit outside waiting for the mail lady. So it was a very fortunate window, and I was taking it, and I did. Oh, you know what I just realized is I should put my Bushland Quaker into this project bag, because these are Australian mockingbirds. I don't actually remember. Mitchie told me once. That would be fun. But the lengths I go to for you all, don't even worry. I have the threads. I have the charts. Everybody's gonna be okay. And now I can finally clip this thread. My goodness. I love a good mail delivery story that has a nice happy ending, because that was enjoyable. Also, speaking of Australia, I just realized that the scissors I finally found are these teeny tiny little gold scissors that I have this fob on, and this is from the Mittagong 2019 Stitchers Retreat. I was gifted, I sent a freebie to Mitchie for the retreat, and I was gifted some swag, including this chainmail scissor fob from Crafty Curator. I think she's Crafty Curator with a K on both of those, on Etsy and Instagram and everywhere. And she's awesome. And so I have my little Australian scissor fob. So I'm going to keep this with this project now. Everything's fine. Vanessa says, I feel like we are related. I love you. I love you too. I'm glad that, I like to be relatable. It's a nice quality, I hope. I don't know. I enjoy finding people I can connect with and relate to. Oh, I don't know what I did with my chart. I mean, I also have some work to do, so I need to hop off and go back to like normal life stuff. But I just love doing these. I decided I'm going to post about this later, but I think I'm not sure which day I'm going to do it. I was thinking Saturday morning, but it might be like next week on a Sunday morning. I'm not really sure. I want to do a Stitch May Q&A live stream, like proper, do it on YouTube probably, but like a scheduled large format event. I will be coming up with a Stitch May Q&A tag. So I'm not sure exactly what that's going to include, but I hope that it includes some fun questions that you can also answer on your own Flosstubes or Instagrams or whatever it might be, because, I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation. I want this to be engaging and whatever. So I need to look at the calendar and make sure that I'm committing to a date that makes sense. But I just thought that would be fun to do. So I'm not sure what time. I've been doing these in the morning typically because that's the purpose of stitching for 15 minutes a day. First thing today was an anomaly. But I also realized for a lot of you, that's like the middle of your work morning. And so it's maybe not the most ideal, but I don't know. We're just hanging out and that's cool. Bendy's mailman does have anger issues. It is really quite funny how many personalities end up in your mail delivery person. I found out that my house, part of why we have so many missing, maybe not necessarily like stolen packages, but part of how we will have sometimes just like random missing things that say they're delivered, but they weren't. It's because I live on what is called an orphan route, which means I do not have an assigned mail carrier who like knows the deal, right? Like always delivers to this house with this building and like, no, we have a different person every few days, every week, whatever. They like rotate different, people just pick up this street, whatever. I don't know how it works. But because of that, if we get someone who hasn't been here before or in a while, then they maybe don't remember how to get into the building. They don't, we have like this really confusing metal cage for packages and they're like, what is that? And so they just drop things wherever. Like sometimes they will put the mail away in all the boxes like they're supposed to, and sometimes they will just dump it out on the counter. It's just like a mail free-for-all. So there's quite a range. But for the most part, they're nice. They do their best. I like to think, I hope, I don't know. Ugh. Anyway, I have to wrap up for today. Thank you for joining me. Keep an eye out on my page for an announcement of a Stitch May Q&A tag live stream some point. I hope it's fun. It'll be fun for me, so I hope it's also fun for you. I gotta go do stuff, but I will, I'll see you soon. Tomorrow, I'll be here in the morning again, like 7:30. That's, I think, it might be more like 8. It's Friday. I might sleep in a little. We'll see what happens. Who knows? All right, friends. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Happy almost Friday. We got this. All right. See you later.